2002 to 2006 could consider to be one of the golden age of Counter-Strike. Well, I think anyway. Why is 2005 to 2006 such a golden year for the Counter-Strike scene? Well, if you look at this list, it's incredible. Like how many teams are here. You start first with SK Gaming. After like they had a year with Hyper, Body, and Eden, but it didn't work out. So they replaced him with Sniden and Golden. This lineup would do. They were still great, but not like as dominant as SK 2003. They just managed to win both CPLs during this year, but they had been underwhelming on other events. Then we have NIP of all people, with Party, Eden, Z Wally, and they weren't dominant, but they were still a very force to reckon with. Like sometimes they would go uh, top three most of the time. Yeah, third, second, first, top five most of the time. Barely losing, or sometimes losing to the underdogs. And then we have Team 3D, of course, North America. If you look at this CPL, actually during this year, like there were two top teams, US, no, four US or five US teams in the top 10 teams in the world. Like we have United 5 with Elements, Check 6, Jack's Money Crew with the Bears, Complexity, of course, Team 3D with K Sharp, Method, and all that. And Gamer Company, which is not here. Suppose they failed the qualifiers or something. Anyway, USA was very relevant during these times. A lot of great teams from the USA. Fnatic, this lineup wasn't that good. Only in the later lineup, Epic, G3X, with Gaules, Bruno, and Nak. This Nak and Bruno would later on form the 2006 Mybro lineup, which would be the underdog and win the major for ES Network 2006. We have the Asians relevant, Lunatic High. They placed second on this event. We have the Germans, Mouse Sports, which was a really good team. Even Genesis was okay, I guess. My bro with Kogu, they're not doing anything relevant yet, but they're getting there. 2005. We have Beckrib. You see these names. These names will define Swedish history in the coming years. There was a lineup with, I think it was before or after. No, it was during this. When Roban would, in 2006, like a year earlier or a few months later, go to NIP. Temple and Forest would make for the Fnatic would make up the new Fnatic team. Four Kings with a mixed Scandinavian team with the British. MTW was bad. I don't think they were good. Catch was good. Not as good as NIP or SK, but they were there. They can compete and get into top three. I mean, at least Norway had a scene, right? They were good enough to reach that level. These two guys, oh my god, Astralis and Serious Gaming. Finland actually had like, I think at one point these two were in top 10 team in the world, but Ruid, like the best Finnish player, would join Europeans later on in 2006. 68 and 29E, I think, replacing Onunen, I guess. And then during those times, we have, oh my god, we have the rise of the Polish scene, Neo, in Team Pentagram. They want like essentially, this is like, they used to be, people used to call them onliners and whatnot. Since, were they called onliners? I think so. Since sometimes, or they were bad on my on online or something like that. And then this prove proves everyone wrong, man. Like they even won SEC 2005 over SK Gaming. This SK Gaming was the former Titans, which was the number one Danish team before. The former Titans lineup, but now they rebranded their name to SKDK, which was, I think, before. I mean, these guys were, I think they were at NIP for a while. Or were they running two teams? Schedule. Let's see. Yeah, okay, they were running two teams, I guess. So no, wait, this is not SKDK. Talking about SKDK, man. Yeah, they the 2005 squad. Yeah, so they ran, I guess. They ran two teams. So I know they won CPL, the Swedish lineup. So those guys, pretty good. The Danish. We have the Danish SK Titans. I just can't call them Titans. Just a different shade. We have Virtus Pro, the Russians. Who like Sally Snoop. They won this event. Gun 5. We had WNV, man. They won the White Master Season 3. It was crazy, man. China, like, and look at the runner-ups. Project AR with Solo, which he would form like one of the best Asian team, like in latter years with Eastro and Remit Fox. And for the China scene, Asian scene was very strong with WNV. The Korean scene was very strong with Project Kion. But the Norwegians were strong as well. This Team 9 was an anomaly. They won like uh Riksack, no, Superior UK 2005 and upset parties team, just nip. And this was the rise of the Norwegian star Real, like one of the best. Like all of the, if you see this year, like the rise of the best. Zed was going to be the best player in the world next year in 2006. Party and Hidden, well, they were like past their prime, I guess. Forrest will be like one of the best players in the world, top two, like for 8 years or something. And then we had the rise of Neo, Philip Neokupski, Pentagram. It's crazy, man. 2005, it's crazy. Like marks the start of a golden age. And then we have the Spanish team existence. Uh, they won the game new. I think the game new. Shit. No, they got second. Still a good performance. The rise of Iberian CS, I guess. We have Musambani flipping. Did I get it right? Did I get it right? Musambani flipping. Gummy. Prestigy. What up? those guys. Even Spain had relevant scenes. We had good game like Oligan and Myers. They were pretty good. I think they were the best French players at the time. But I think the team didn't achieve that much. Yeah. So we had all these different countries, different players of teams in 2005, which is the start of the golden age of Counter Strike. And as you can see here, complexity. I mean, people doubted them like they do now. Like, were they ever gonna succeed? And this was the rise of actually complexity gaming to be the number one team in the world when they won this ESWC 2005 over the Titans team. And then we fast forward to 2006 and look at this, man. Attacks. Let's look at attacks first. They won with they won WSBG 2006, and I think they won a Rolex with that event over Team 3D. This was a huge upset because attacks was like their player couldn't come, I think, and their coach subbed, so they won with a sub player. Oh my god, such a good run, such a story, man. So basically, 2006 is like the rise of Fnatic. This is an iconic lineup. Unfortunately, it lasted only 1 year. This 10 year would leave after a year and uh, went to Ninjas and Pajamas while Ins took his place. As you can see here, they were, I think, I'm not sure who was the best that year. I guess they were the best at the end of the year because they won CPL in 2006. But to my knowledge, NiP was very close to them. This was when Zed became the best player in the world, which unfortunately stopped. I mean, I think it could have been a Forest and Neo, with Neo, together with Forest and Neo, like top three, like before Get Right coming to the scene. Yeah, they were the best. They just choked like the last. I don't know what happened here. Maybe Zed is planning to go to GS. But look at this, man. This was when they removed Hidden and Body and replaced them with Roban and Roban and Spawn. See, I don't understand Spawn here because I see him sometimes in SK, sometimes in NiP. I don't know if he was just there temporarily. I'm so confused about that lineup. I always get confused between Spawn in the NiP 2006 lineup. Like, it doesn't make sense. See, Spiel Winter, who they were with. Let's see. Okay, so Spawn joined that team because I remember when SK got like 16 hold by Catch Gamer, Spawn was there. So I'm like so confused by that. Anyway, 2006 was also a clash of Titans. You can see here Existence, Sambani, Flippin, and Drastic. They won Game Q in 2006. I mean, it was okay A tier, okay-ish teams, but they're like from Spain, right? They don't have a scene, so it was a pretty good. Uh, it was a pretty good result for them. So this is where the Mimer, no, Pentagram. This is where Pentagram start to like come to the scene. These five guys would win and upset the Ninjas and Pajamas team in the WCG 2006 finals. And then they became the number one team at the time. They also, as you can see, won several events during that year. 2006. Mybor, they won ESWC 2006, which was one of the biggest over Fnatic, just like the second best team in the world at that time, which is a huge upset. And they even won Digilab there over Catch. And then we had Meteor Makers, but this was like after Cage Gamer was already disbanded. With Juvenile, PRB, Rio, Element, Zion. They went very deep into this tournament and placed second. Complexity and 3D were still there. Pandemic, they were touted like going to be one of the best teams in the world after 3D and Complexity, but unfortunately they went to Source and kind of killed that thing. Bad Grip was like Russian now, I don't know. You're bad now. I think during this time, the Koreans, did they win it? No, they didn't. I think WNV did win something. They had, yeah, White Masters 2006 for Complexity. So yeah, they had all these different storylines, teams, and like so many people were relevant. Asia was relevant. North America was relevant. South America was relevant. The Iberian Peninsula was relevant. It's crazy, man. It's those times. And then the British. I mean, there were like 3 or 2 players, but the British was relevant too, together with the Russians. But Ukrainians, not yet there. Yeah. So yeah, that's why I think 2005 to 2006 is the golden age of Counter Strike.